Welcome to the debut live stream of the Omnigamers Club. I'm Daniel,
I'm Mark. Hello.
and welcome to anyone else who may happen to be out there. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. Yeah, pretty relaxed. Nice weekend.
Excellent, excellent. We had a nice stroll down to the beach near Quetzalano today, which was very nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
I took a nice bike ride around the seawall on the downtown Vancouver side with my
excellent.
son, which was fun.
Yeah, it's been far too long since I've been down the seawall. It's quite nostalgic, especially on a very overcast, windy day here in Vancouver. I've missed this weather, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it was great weather too. I felt. I every time I go out to ride my bike, I always think, or go to the beach, I'm like, why don't I do this all the time? I live here for a reason. I guess it happens. We get stuck in our work patterns, things
Yes,
like that.
yeah. It's hard to get out of the routine of being in the house all day, every day now. Actually, getting out into the world again, it's a bit of an adjustment.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not totally over the COVID lockdown mode just yet. I don't know about you, but I think I've only done one social event with more than like two or three people
Hmm.
in the public. And still, yeah, it was really nice. It was actually at Rain City Games,
Hmm.
their board game design playtest group with the Vancouver playtest. There it was really nice. A lot of familiar faces, some new faces, and we really just fell back into the old mode, and it felt like old times. It was great. Just with a smaller seat cap on it. Yeah, that's all.
Fantastic. I'm hoping to check that out sometime. Although I was actually just at Rain City myself for my first social outing last week. I went into for a Magic the Gathering draft.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm jealous. It was an older set, right? Like Caldheim?
Yeah, I mean, it was from this year, but back when physical events weren't happening, so they've been cycling through some of the older sets. And that was one I was quite interested in, and sad to have missed the sort of opportunity to check it out properly. But it was good fun. I didn't play very well, but it was good fun. It's actually seeing people.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I haven't ever done a draft game. I've never done one in person. I've never done one digitally. So you're gonna have to teach me the ways. And I would very much like to go to a physical event for that
Yeah,
at Rain City Games or wherever.
there should be plenty of opportunities for that soon, hopefully. And we just had our first live follower. Thank you, numbers. Sorry, HOS series of numbers. There you go. Hi. We have a couple of viewers here. But for posterity, why don't we chat about what we're doing with this, both the podcast and the live stream? We just launched the live stream this past week. We've been planning it for a little while now, so we've had a few episodes banked and been working on things behind the scene. But we're now public. So what are we doing with this podcast, Mark?
Yeah, well, I think we've shared the basic idea of it is that it's sort of like a game book club, but very much not just focused on board games, which I think people know you for, and not just focused on video games, but you and I think we share that love of both those mediums, and I'm a bit of a digital dilettante on games. I like to jump between them, and I'm always playing tons of games,
As the mood strikes you.
board games, yeah, digitally. So I thought this would be a great way to play more games with people I like,
Hmm.
and play more games regularly with human beings, and just share, right? Just share. There's not enough sharing going on during COVID, so this is a great way for us to do that.
Yeah, I mean, with the new hotness, people constantly jumping from one game to the next, it can be a bit hard to keep track of everything, and it's just nice to for your friends to all be playing one game and be able to discuss that in detail. And it's something we tried to do a couple of times with video games in the local Discord. It didn't quite get off the ground. I think we played one or two games together, and then it kind of just fell apart. People couldn't decide on something, but I love this the idea of playing the one game and really delving into in detail and sharing experiences and what we enjoyed and don't enjoy about it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's sort of like the blessing and the curse of our modern age, right? With so many video games, more than we could have ever imagined as kids, coming out all the time, and then now more board games coming out than have ever come out at any
Hmm.
given time. It's impossible for anyone to keep track of, and I'm hoping that we can, keep each other in the know. I don't need to slavishly follow what's the hotness, but I want to still try out new stuff, and I want to try out old stuff, and I want to keep playing games that I enjoy.
Hmm. It's especially hard with the streaming services, but it's bad enough in terms of TV and movies. But now you got Xbox Game Pass for video games and Board Game Arena and these other platforms where everything is available at once, which is wonderful. And like it's so good for accessibility for everyone, but at the same time, it's so hard to focus on just one thing at a time. So I guess we're trying to just zero in a little more
Uh,
and
you know,
focus on one thing rather than having six games going at once, which is something I've definitely been guilty of.
Yeah, there's definitely the, potential for like platform itis, it's happening with digital video, right? Is like you got your
Absolutely.
all your various competing platforms, and you can't get any one of them that has everything. But I think that's kind of like the opposite of what I need, right? Is like I'm totally cool with a hand selected subset of games. So I love Xbox Game Pass for a reason.
Mm.
People are gonna get super sick of me extolling its virtues.
Sponsor us.
Exactly. We're available. Um, but I love that there's someone suggesting like a handful of games, like 100 games or 120 games or whatever they have, is still a subset compared to all of the thousands of games on Steam, right? So it's still getting me focused, and it allows me to, just jump between five or six games that I'm, uh, some of them new and some of them that are old that I've been meaning to play.
Hmm.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I've been picking at a bunch of stuff lately, but it's also good for if you don't like a game, just move on, and there's no guilt about having wasted money. Just I've certainly been guilty of that in Steam sales, both buying something and then never playing it, or not liking it, and having that shelf of shame. But with Game Pass, it's really changed the way we approach that sort of thing, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even if the retail model doesn't go away, I think just having, the first chunk of a game accessible for people to try out is brilliant, and I love that platform for that. Similarly, I love how, platforms like Board Game Arena and Tabletopia, they have their different subset of games, but they just sort of help me focus. It's like, hey guys, what should we play this week? And it'd be like, oh, this came out on this platform. Let's talk about that. And it's kind of like a virtual water cooler situation, which the guys on the Discord and us, we can, talk about, and it's sort of like the zeitgeist, right,
Hmm.
of the moment.
So it does already get overwhelming when I mean we've got all the games we regularly play on Board Game Arena, but then there's also this other game on Boitaju and this other game on Yukata, and so we're already getting that proliferation of too many platforms, even in board games.
I'm super guilty of just having tabs for all those open all the time.
I've mostly just kept the Board Game Arena and to that extent and limiting myself a little.
No, it's definitely a good one. Speaking of Board Game Arena, should we boot that game up then?
Yeah, well, so our first podcast episode that we launched this week was
Yeah.
for Lost Ruins of Arnak, which is actually a relatively newer game. Came out last year in 2020. And as we discussed on the podcast, it's I don't know if any awards it won, but it was certainly nominated for a bunch of awards. And so it's been getting quite the hype. And so we chatted about it quite a bit on the podcast, and we've both played it a bit more since then. So we thought we'd play it together here on Livestream and sort of talk our way through it. Now, normally I think this might be a good time to discuss some listener feedback that we've gotten on the episode. I don't know that we've actually had any come in yet. We're still sort of building our listener fan base, but that'll come with time. I'm assuming, Mark, we haven't had the thing come through.
Not that I've seen, but yeah, it often takes time for these sorts of things to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, it's anything
Um,
like me. My podcast backlog is about 2 weeks behind. So I know lots of friends have subscribed and been excited to give it a listen, but I don't begrudge anyone who hasn't had time to actually listen to it yet.
for sure, they'll get to it in a couple of weeks, and then we'll have a couple of more episodes out by then, which would be great.
Mhm.
Because one thing we're definitely going to do is sort of our pattern for now is we're going to do alternating between a board game and then a video game, a board game and a video game, and I think that's going to keep us um, keep the subject matter interesting. We're not just going to, you know, focus on the one platform, but hopefully on many
Mhm.
and many different types of games that just interest us personally.
Yeah, and at least for now, I think at least all of the games we've recorded for so far have been video games that are on PC and board games that are on like official platforms online. So we should be able to facilitate some form of playthrough for all of these. That might be something. I'm not sure. I mean, we hope to continue that in the future for any of the games. Though, I mean, hope one day we might be able to do a live play together. You never know. But we're going to try and keep things, choose games that are accessible on multiple platforms and that we can share with all of you.
Yeah, that's right. We don't want to hype up some long out of print game that's super rare and sorry folks, you'll never see in the public.
Dust
No.
off your Nintendo Entertainment System,
Yeah.
blow out those cartridges.
Yeah. No, we're plebeians. We'll do the regular board game video game fare.
Okay, well, why don't we jump across to Board Game Arena? Now, hopefully this should work.
Yeah.
There we are. Okay. Sorry, bear with us. We're just setting up some new the new format for Twitch, and I made the grand mistake of updating my video drivers right before recording, so I was getting the dreaded black screen, but it seems to be working now. So, okay, here we have the Lost Ruins of Arnak, and this is my screen you're seeing here. We've got Mark's player board down here. I'll try to avoid scrolling around too much. In fact, I wonder, I don't want to zoom out too much because we'll lose some details on the main board there. But I think that should be a good balance. Now, we're playing on the Snake Temple side, which is a slightly more advanced... There's two sides of the board. There's the Bird Temple and the Snake Temple, which reconfigure how things are laid out on the research track, basically, and also it mixes up the travel requirements on the main part of the board here. I don't think we're going to be doing a full rules breakdown. We're going to keep things moving here, but we will sort of talk through our turns as we go, I think, and just contextualize as we play. But if of course anyone listening, if you have any questions, please do ask. Okay, it looks like I rolled the coin and got first player here. So I mean, so we're dealing with 5 rounds here. I've got.
I'm gonna do my best to not look at your hand.
Oh, of course. I've got my hand of 5 cards here, and I've got one more that I could potentially draw this round, and I've got my 2 workers here. So, unfortunately, as first player, I have not started with anything, and I drew the dreaded hand of my 2 fear cards coming up in my first hand, which severely limits what I can really do here. So I think we're going to have to make the very boring choice of collecting some compasses. So I'm just going to travel down. There's the starting locations down here that give you just very basic resources. And compasses, of course, we need to be able to explore the other locations up top. So I'm just going to come down here. So to do that, I need to put down a worker. And I need to pay for the travel, which is a foot. Which I can use one of these fear cards for, like so. Okay, and I'm not going to take any free actions. I will end my turn.
Hmm. I wish you were gonna let me get the compasses, but no such luck there. So I'll have to get a consolation prize. What would be good right now? I'm thinking maybe getting tablets is the way to go.
Okay. I mean, there's not really a lot of things to use tablets for right now, unless you're hoping to double down on those artifact cards, perhaps, or do some early research
I could do
and
some
and
research,
blitz up that track.
perhaps. Yeah.
In a two-player game, I guess it's not as vital to race up the track because, like, at least in terms of the bonuses here, because we can each go up one side, but of course you are still getting benefits up the top there with just flat out points. So now that I have got some compasses, I could get another compass for that, which is a free action. Any of these cards that you see with the lightning bolts are a free action. So I can get another compass there. Now with 3 compasses, I can start traveling to these locations here. So what I think we're going to do is go to this one. I of course need to pay a car travel icon, which I can use this card for. So you're already seeing here as a quick reminder that these cards can be played in 2 ways. One for the effect on the face of the card, in other words, gaining one of these resources, or you can pay it for the travel icon up the top when you're placing a worker. So one or the other. So they're dual use cards. So you really have to balance out how you're using them. So I've researched this location, and you can see here I've received a smattering of resources. Unfortunately, one of those was a fear card, but also a jewel, which is the rarest resource in the game, which is very nice. And I'm also facing this guardian here, who is requiring a certain number of resources to overcome them, which is something I'll have to deal with next turn. So I'll pass for now.
Yeah, and there's one of the big things I had to learn early when I was playing this game is the difference between, sorry, what is it, like free actions
Mm-hmm.
with the lightning bolts, and then pass actions. So pass actions, it ends your turn. You still get multiple turns until you pass for the round, but pass means your turn ends. Whereas um, fast actions or free actions, you can do as many as you want to, so you can stack a bunch of them up. And anything with the lightning bolt is a free action. So even the things that you see on my board or placing the idols down to
Mm-hmm.
gain those fast free actions is something that you can do. Um, Unfortunately, my hand didn't really come up compasses very much. I'm gonna have to find some alternatives of what to do. All right, so I think I'm gonna just let this round sort of pass me by, and I'm gonna just try and gain as many resources as I can for next round.
Set yourself up for the next one. That's how this game works. Unfortunately, there's only 5 rounds, so I think the general consensus is 2 rounds of setup basically, and then hopefully at that point you've built up some better cards for the last couple of rounds. Okay, so unfortunately I'm left with no way of really getting the resources I need to defeat this guardian here. What I can do is I thankfully have a lot of coins, so I can start looking at that. Now, unfortunately, I'm just thinking if I should perhaps one reason to be zoomed in a little more so people can actually read these cards. That's a little hard on this screen. Although I can hover over them. I guess that's the best way of doing that. So you can see and these are the. Sorry, there's the artifact cards and the item cards. Believe they're called. That basically they cost gold. You can see the gold cost in the bottom left. They will give you victory points on the bottom right, and they will also have some kind of effect / travel symbols. So we have quite a few. We have several to choose from, and as the rounds go on, there'll be less items and more artifacts to choose from each round. So this one is pretty good. I can activate any level 1 site without having to face off any guardians. So you know what? I might actually go for that. I will buy the binoculars. And that goes onto the bottom of my draw pile.
See me shaking my head right here. Nope, nope, nope. All right. Well, I'll have to be okay with my plans being dashed again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to research with some of the
I mean, you can see my cards here, so don't be too surprised.
Yeah, it's okay. And neither can anyone see my hand, but that's fine. I played out all my cards. Really basic, kind of crummy two-fear hand as well. But I managed to snag enough resources to climb up the resource track one tier. And of course, you always have to lead with your magnifying glass. So I'm gaining 1 coin as a result of that. Really, that's not why I'm climbing. The climbing is to get the points that are associated with, the highest level that you reach with either the magnifying glass or the book. And the magnifying glass always has to lead. And of course, there's cool resources you can pick up along the way if you reach there first. If you reach a given spot first, and sort of like Slay the Spire or something, you have to follow a path when you climb up these routes. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I guess I can technically continue going, but I might want to hold off on that. Oh, it's actually Daniel's turn anyway. I'll let you go.
Well, I'm out of workers now and out of cards, basically. Fear is not worth much of anything beyond using these basic travel locations. So all we really have left is a little bit of research we can do. So let's start moving up this track here, which will give me 1 more coin back, and we will pass.
Yeah, one thing I really had to get used to when learning this game is that you'd think in a worker placement game that once your workers are exhausted, you're done, right? Which is not actually true in this game, is that there's this whole other research track happening that has nothing to do with your workers. And you need a lot of resources to do research or even to defeat guardians and perform actions in the sort of exploration track, I guess you can call it. So there's definitely been cases where I had a meeple left over and there was actually nothing practically I could do, just because spots were taken up or things like that. So it's a tricky game in that regard.
Yeah, there's several systems going on sort of independently of each other here, and that can be tough to balance, especially when each card can only be used for one or the other thing, and balancing your priorities there is quite a tricky balance.
All right, I'm going to end up buying a card. I bought the bear trap.
Well, about all I can do is buying these boots if I want them. Do I want them? I mean, if anything, just to since I have a bunch of fear cards and no easy way of getting rid of them, I think just fleshing out my deck a little bit is probably a good thing.
All right. Can I buy anything else? Looks like there's a couple cards I could buy. I don't really want to junk up my hand. But that said, a lot of the last card I got was an exile card, and there's another exile card on the track. So I might, you know what? I'm gonna hold on to my coin because there's one more thing you can do with coin, and you can always spend 2 coin to represent any travel icon that you need.
Correct, yes. 2 coins can be spent for any travel icon. Planes, as you might see on a card like this, are wild. So they can be either a boat or a car. And boats and cars can also be used for the boots, which is the lowest form. So everything can be used for its lower forms of travel, basically. With that said, I think I'm basically done for this round.
Yeah.
That's 1 round out of 5 already done.
That's right, I've already passed.
So as you can see here, as the round moves on, we now have more artifacts to choose from and less items as we start working our way deeper into the temple.
Yeah, okay.
And we draw 5 new cards and get our workers back, obviously. Okay.
Yeah, and it looks like I'm I'm first this time around. So I wonder what's best. You know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to go here because I can do it and I can defeat that beast handily.
You've already got a arrowhead. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Or I already have a bear trap as well. So there's a bit of a spoiler. So I'm gonna go there.
Okay. What I did forgot to mention last turn, unfortunately, is that because I was unable to defeat the Guardian, I draw another fear card. So I now have 4 floating around in my deck, which is quite a lot. So I'm going to have to pretty quickly find a way to start excising those. So there's not a lot of options though. There is a nice looking assistant down here. No one can be afraid when they have a friendly pug with them, I guess. So the best way of getting that is if I can research with my book up to this level, I can claim an assistant. What I need for that though is unfortunately more gems or tablets. So let's see what we can do in that regard. First, we're going to I think we're just going to explore up here. We grab a tablet at the very least. So we'll spend this boat. Okay, so that gets us even more tablets. And unfortunately, the monkey is needing a lot of coins, which I also do not have. So that will do me for now.
Yeah, it really is a crapshoot sometimes what you'll find.
Sometimes it lines
For
up. The resources you get are exactly what you need to pay off the Guardian. Sometimes it's the complete opposite, unfortunately. So, especially in this
for
early
sure.
game, as you're still exploring, there's quite a lot of, not necessarily luck, but randomness and improvisation required to sort of find your way through the forest.
Yeah, funny enough, sometimes what I'm doing is I'm going to explore as well. But funny enough, sometimes you land on the spot and you gain exactly what you need to defeat the monster that's there.
But that kind of also feels like you're not really achieving much. Well, I got some resources and I immediately paid those resources. So what did I gain here?
And
What did we
you
learn?
gained 5 points, or you
True,
gained eight
true.
points conceivably.
Every guardian you defeat is worth 5 points. That's correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the idols you pick up along the way.
Yes, these idols you see are also like you get one of these for each level 1 location that you research. You get 2 idols for each level 2 location that you research, and they are all worth 3 points. So I now have a bunch of tablets to burn, so I can start thinking about. There's no chance I'm going to be able to use my other worker for a location up here, so I think I'm just going to send him at the bottom here and gather some resources. So what we're going to do here is activate this, and then I can travel to a site. We will go here. And normally I would need to spend a card to do that, but this card was able to provide both effects for me. So I am done for now.
Very nice. Yeah, I definitely been trying different strategies with this. Like I said on the podcast, I've been playing, sort of a number of games of this at a time. And lately, I've been going really, really hard on the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, going on as many expeditions as I can as early as possible and hitting them hard. And it's served me well with a smattering of research mixed in for sure.
Yeah, I played a 2-player game with a friend, a physical game, nonetheless, recently, and I had something like 6 Guardians by the end there, which was very nice. Unfortunately, again, you don't even necessarily have the option of taking that strategy if the cards don't align on those first couple of rounds, you really not to say that you don't have any choice, but you definitely have to improvise a little bit based on what comes up. So I don't really have much choice to defeat Guardians at this point in the game.
Yeah.
What I
What
can
is
do though,
what is the best opening hand, do you think?
I mean,
Two compasses.
two compasses, one fear, so you can definitely jump straight into exploring, and then hopefully have a little bit of. Then you have your second worker to sort of improvise with whatever you need to defeat that guardian, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's assuming you go second, where because if you go first, you don't start with the compass. I think if you're the second player, you start with the compass, so you even get another head start there. Whereas basically anyone else is going to have to go to this location just to be able to get enough compasses to explore that first round. Okay, sorry, I got sidetracked there. What I was doing was researching. So now that my compass is up here, I can research this level with my book. Now that said, I do want to be able to exile cards, but all those fear cards I have are still in my draw pile, so there's actually no point me even doing that just yet, to be honest. So let's undo that. Maybe I'll save that for next turn once those fear cards start coming out, because this symbol to exile a card you can use from your hand or discard, but not from your deck, sadly. So that actually doesn't help me very much. In that case, I mean, what I really need is some arrowheads, but again, not having much luck in that regard. What I could do is actually spend one of my idols here. So the idols, I can move up into these slots here to take one of these effects. Now each one I do will lose me points for the end of the game. You start the game with these 10 points, and each idol that you use, you're going to lose those points. But if you can use them early, then you're probably going to balance out and have more points in the long run. So what I'm going to do here is really want another arrowhead, but it's just there's nothing on the board that's going to get me there. So let's do this. We'll grab a gem, and this is a free action. So now I can spend that gem to research up here, get a couple more coins, and that will be me for now.
All right. Yes, it is definitely a strategic choice to sacrifice your idols, but yeah, it comes in handy for sure. I'm glad you didn't take that particular assistant, because I like to keep my deck lean and mean, so I took Miss Pugs a lot with me. I wish these assistants had actual names. Yeah, I grabbed her, and I'll be able to utilize her skill once this round.
Oh, well, I'll have to find some other way of getting rid of all that fear in my deck. Okay, so I may as well grab an assistant now. I'll move my book up here and grab. I mean, I was just complaining that I don't have an easy way of getting arrowhead, so why don't we do that? We'll take this assistant. So these assistants can be used once per turn. You basically tap them sideways to indicate they've been used for that effect, and then each round they refresh. If you can find a way to upgrade them to the gold version, they flip over, and you get the sort of upgraded version at the bottom there. So I can use her immediately. I can use this effect to spend a gold and get an arrowhead. And if you ever see this symbol here, that's basically untapping that card so you can use it again within the same round. But that is going to be me for now.
Yeah, that can be really powerful. Speaking of idols, I'm going to go ahead and use my one idol I gained to collect some tablets. And what that's going to let me do, because that's a free action I can keep going, is I can go to that guardian and defeat it.
Excellent.
Yeah, 2 guardians in 1 turn. 1 round.
Wow. Some kind of Tomb Raider there.
That's right. Just call me Lara.
I am going to I've got this card here. It lets me activate one of these level 1 sites. None of them really have the resources I'm looking for, but I may as well use it regardless. So I'm going to choose this one. Get even more compasses. And that'll do me for now.
Yeah, compasses are always good.
Because compasses, I mean, both are useful for the research track here, but also for these artifacts. So you get one, when you buy these artifacts, you get to use them once for free immediately. But from that point on, to use that card again, you actually have to pay a compass.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
not a compass. Sorry, a tablet.
A tablet. Yeah. It's a high risk reward, but
Mm.
it's definitely interesting. I like from a design perspective how artifacts and items are different from each other. Items are, of course, you can use them whenever you have them, and some of them are exiled to perform the action. Some of them are free actions, and most of them are pass actions, it seems. But as the game goes along, more artifacts become available and fewer items are available. I guess the idea is you're farther away from camp, and that stick under the 2 moon phase is indicating what round we're on right now, 2 of 5. So yeah, I'm just gonna use Miss Pugs a lot to kill my fear, and then oh, I guess still have free action, so I'm gonna gain 1 coin. Then I'm gonna use my kill fear bonus action, which I gained from defeating a guardian, and I'm gonna use it to kill one of my basic funding cards. And then
It's a
I
very lean deck.
yeah, I like to keep it pretty lean. I don't think I want to do anything else, so I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
Yeah, want that fear out of there.
Yeah, I have once again put myself in a position to not be able to defeat this Guardian, so I'm running a very risky ship here. What I'm going to have to do, for the sake of achieving something, is... See, if I move my book up here, I could dab this tablet, but I would again be prompted to exile a card, which I don't want to do right now, because that's just going to make my fear cards more likely to come up. So what I'm going to do instead is move my compass up to here, nab that coin, and there's one of those pesky fears. And I think I'm going to pass with that. But I do have some compasses and coins left to
You
spend.
got an extra idol.
I do have an extra idol, and so I could, in fact, spend that to get enough gold to defeat this Guardian, which I think is actually a pretty good idea, because I've already got a lot of fear going on. I need to conquer that fear, so I'm going to grab that compass. So now I have 4 gold. I can overcome the monkey. We're not killing them. We are overcoming them. We're giving them an offering, and it's much like Pokemon.
Yeah, here's a chocolate bar.
So then now what it does is it gives me 5 points at the end of the game, but it also gives me this one-off effect that I can use. So in this case, this symbol is to upgrade a resource. So I can upgrade a tablet to an arrowhead, or an arrowhead to a crystal, none of which I have just yet. But I can hold on to that for next round. What I do now have, though, is 3 compasses, so I could afford these. I already have some boots, but I can never have too many shoes. And that one actually seems pretty handy. Although... Okay, so I could relocate to one of these bottom locations. But what that would let me do, though, is be a little sneaky. If I do that now, I could grab some compasses.
Tablet.
Oh, sorry. What I first have to do is undo that. Oops. Wait, where did my compass go? Oh, sorry, and undid my whole turn. So let me take that back. What did I do? Oh, that's right. So it was the idols. Okay, so we redo the idols. Then I can defeat the monkey. and buy the shoes. So first I have to select the spot I want to move from, and then select the space that I want to move to. There we go. So now I have my tablets, and I could upgrade that to an arrowhead if I so wish, but I will not do that just yet. I'm gonna pass.
Right. And I've already passed, I believe. So that's another round
There's no
done.
sphere. Okay. It's going to be a pretty slow round for me, I think. Okay, it's back to me. Okay. Phew. Now, you'll notice here, to advance to the next stage of the research track here is I actually need an idol. I need to discard an idol. Which unfortunately means... what it means is... exploring again, which I cannot do as it currently stands. Though what I could do, yeah, I'm really gonna have to get that idol. So what I'm gonna do is go get some compasses down here. Thankfully, I've got plenty of boots. All the boots man could want, and pass.
Boots for days.
We are in the jungle here. You can never have too many boots.
Nice.
I've already lost 3 pairs in the bog, so...
Nice. Okay, so you snagged the compasses, which I'm not happy about. All right. But I have a very interesting hand going on here. Let's see. I think I want to push my research this round. So I'm going to go and get that arrow. It's the only one I see on the board freely available, so I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, I was really been hoping for some more arrows in the main section here, but we're going to have to dig a little deeper for that.
Good drive for arrows.
I mean, I do have this here, but I don't have the coins just yet. So what we're going to do... And I can also upgrade a tablet into an arrowhead. That's the other thing I can do. You know what? Since you're awfully close of snapping that tablet right there, we might do exactly that. So I'm going to upgrade a tablet to an arrowhead, which is a free action. Also grab a coin as a free action, which will let me snatch this tablet and exile one of my fear in the process.
Very nice. Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't do that, but that's fine. I'll live. While I'm at it, I am going to climb up there, and then... Yeah, I'll climb up there for now. Figure out what's coming next.
Okay.
Get me a couple coins.
So, unfortunately, that means I can't explore anymore. But it does mean I have less fear to deal with in the following rounds. So, what options does that leave me? All I need is a tablet, but again, no coins. Sorry, an arrowhead. But no coins to buy one. Well, if I'm not going to have a chance to explore, I may as well just come down here and grab some coins from there.
Got it. Yeah. After this round, definitely the first tier of action spaces doesn't get used a lot. Maybe in a pinch.
Yeah, this is awfully late to be relying on that, but the Snake Temple requires a little more balance. It hasn't really worked out for me so far. So it can be a little tricky to fall into that fear hole.
Okay, I want to get a crystal, but I don't want to discard a card for it, so I'm gonna go to the explored or discovered dig site. That gives you crystal right now. It does give you a fear, but I have a way to overcome that.
Oh, of course I could have gone to one of those. I completely missed that.
Yeah, could have. But there I go. Oh yeah.
It can be a little
You should.
confusing, this game, getting into the mindset of what you need to go to particular locations. To explore one of these new locations, it requires three different resources. You need a worker, a card, you need three compasses, and then you get so stuck into that mindset that you forget you can just go there and following routes sometimes.
Yeah. We talked about this on the episode, of course, but this isn't really a deck building game, right? Like deck building is a part of the game. It's ultimately like a resource management, resource conversion game.
Or hand management as well, I guess, for that. Yeah, because I mean, you do have a deck of cards, but you buy a new card, you're only going to see it once or twice generally.
Yeah, but you can it's not a deck building game a la, Thunderstone or Dominion or something where you cycle the decks so
Mm.
often. It's really just every hand is on the knife edge, right? Like it's the difference between having 6 cards in your deck and having 7 cards in your deck is huge.
Yeah, I mean, it really behooves you to have a fairly lean deck. But I mean, even then, you can't cycle within a round. If you draw all your cards one round, you don't get to shuffle again until the start of the next round.
Well,
Uh,
there's lots of abilities that give you extra draws.
hmm
And if you happen to buy a card during your turn, you can actually draw the card that you bought on the same
Yes,
turn.
yeah. So
So that
that's
works
one way
out.
of having a little more predictability. Is if you have a completely empty deck, you could buy a card, immediately draw it potentially. But that requires quite a bit of setup, which I definitely do not have. So what was I doing here? I was now had a coin that would let me buy a arrowhead. With that, I can keep advancing. Up here, which actually lets me upgrade my assistant, and then I can use her again with the other coin. The thing is, do I want an arrowhead or a gem? Gem, I mean, both are going to be useful as we get further up here, but gems are generally more powerful, so I'm going to spend a coin for a gem, and then I'm going to pass.
All right. So I'm gonna gain some coin here with my free effect. So tell me how the brush works. Do you think the brush works so that you gain a compass for each idol you have in total, or even those that you have in the slots?
I would say it. I mean, you only have one regardless. I think it would count
Yeah.
all of the idols you have, regardless of whether they're in a slot or not. I would imagine, because you still, regardless of whether they're in a slot or not, you're getting those 3 points from the idol. So you still own that idol regardless. So it would just count the one for you there.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
All
that
right.
that only really it's only really a good bet if you have the three idols. Otherwise, it's just to
Oh,
gain
I'll
one
get some
compass.
more
I mean, it's
idols.
worth 3 points, I guess. So there's that.
Yeah. All right.
It's always points.
I'm gonna spend all the cards in my hand. I got an extra coin. I got an extra compass. I'm gonna kill my fear, which I love saying.
Fear is the mind killer.
Exactly. Kill that fear. And I have just enough resources to climb up the research track a bit more,
Mm-hmm.
which lets me kill another card, which I'm going to kill my other fear. So
Uh-huh.
I literally have a 4
Wow.
card deck right now, which means I'm going to want to buy another card.
Mm-hmm.
But let me think about that.
Well, you've got a few resources, so you've got plenty of options there. I, on the other hand, have a single compass, so can't really do much of anything other than prepare for next round. So let's spend this one, and hopefully we'll have enough compasses next round to actually do some exploring. So I think I have no choice but to leave it there, because like both my researching, for me, I have to have an idol, and the only way of getting an idol is to explore, and the only way to explore is to have three compasses. So that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So let's pass.
Sometimes you just got to hold on to those compasses. For sure. Um, that said, sometimes you just need to
Know when to follow
spend
them.
them,
Know when to follow them.
spend them to get artifacts. I think I'm gonna get the sundial.
Okay, so look at
I'm gonna
sundial.
get the
Two
sundial.
tablets or pass to gain a crystal.
Yeah, because like artifacts, you have to spend tablets to use them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if this is going to be a way to fuel future artifact usage.
Spend 1 tablet to get 2 tablets. That's a net benefit in theory.
Well, yeah, I mean, it keeps my artifact engine going, and I could buy other ones. Alternatively, I could buy one of these available items. And the lantern's sort of calling me because it lets me activate a base space
Mm-hmm.
as a card action, which is kind of gets me some flexibility there.
Flexibility is good in this game. Anything that lets you
Yeah,
predict what benefit you're going to get rather than just blindly exploring is
yeah,
very good.
yeah. So I think I am going to buy that.
Okay.
Then I know that these 5 cards I own are the 5 cards I'm going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And because I can't draw anymore, I'm going to pass. Or I guess I could buy another card, but
Or you could save that for exploring.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
Okay.
Okay, so we're clipping along here. We're on the 4th round already.
Okay, that's a better draw. I think I've still got 3 fear cards in my deck. Now, there is actually a handy feature they added to the board game arena, which lets you, if you forget what's in your deck. Unfortunately, this isn't the problem that Mark has, mind you. He can see his entire deck at any time. But if you forget what's in your deck, you can click this button here and see all the cards you have. I could even do that to Mark's without scrolling down.
Yeah. Well, you won't have a problem seeing what cards I have in my deck either. Those are the ones that are also in my hand. So I have a lot of compasses, and I definitely have enough for 6. So I guess my real question is, where do I want to go?
Yeah, so 6 compasses will let you dive into the deep jungle up to one of these level 2 locations here.
Right. So I think I'm going to go to the 3rd one from the left, just because it's got a tablet, which I like, and lets me spend a split of resources. So, okay, interesting. Interesting. It's just okay. Cool. I'll figure it out.
You need to find an arrowhead, which unfortunately there's still no way. I mean, there's always this, and you do have the. Did you buy the flashlight? I guess.
I didn't. No, all the cards you see are the ones I have, but
Okay.
I have ways. I'll figure it out.
Okay, let's have a look. What are we doing? Oh, I have a guest here. This is Ted. it is. Wait, no, it is 5 minutes till his dinner time, so that's why he is here now.
Wow. Very on the ball, Ted.
He's got a good sense of time. Okay, I am... So these let me activate some locations, but I have to place something first in order to use that. So what I can do... I could... Oh, hello, Chris in the chat there. He is actually one of my friends who has met Ted. How you going, Chris?
Nice.
Let's see. What am I doing? What's the likelihood of me getting to a level 2 location? Because I could get a couple of tablets here. That's actually not completely out of the question now that I think of it. What we're going to do is we're going to go here. Actually, well, cancel that. The cheap way of doing it is doing this, which gives me a compass and the 2 boots I need to go here and get 2 more compasses. Or an item for free, but I don't think that's really going to benefit me right now. I'll just get 2 compasses.
Sounds like you're trying to pull off a combo there, Daniel.
Trying to. I'm dealing with odd numbers now, though. 5 compasses, not quite enough. But let's end turn. I see Chris has been playing Humankind, which I have been dabbling in a little myself. It's the new game, Civilization-like.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't remember the name of the studio.
It's a Sega studio, isn't it?
Yeah, so the ones that did Endless Legend and Amplitude, that's the one. They did Endless Legend, Endless Space, which I've played quite a bit of, and they're quite
Right.
interesting 4X games with a bit more flavor than Civilization, like leaning into sort of really asynchronous stories. Asymmetrical factions and events and things, which are quite cool. And now they're taking on the traditional Civilization game. So I've been playing a little bit of that, not quite enough to make a lot of comments just yet, but we might talk about that in the future. You never know.
Yeah. Funny enough, I played it last night.
Excellent.
But before we delve too deep into that, I'm going to take my
Hmm.
turn. You said I was buying the flashlight, but it was the lantern
Lantern,
actually
that's it. Yes, yeah.
that I ended up getting, and I think I'm going to use it. I said I didn't buy it. It's because it wasn't the flashlight. I got the lantern, so I got myself that arrowhead I was looking for.
Excellent. Okay, so now I'm just left with needing one more compass, which is very handy because I have this one right here. And that lets me go to a level 2 location. Unfortunately, I still need the travel icons though, so what can I afford to not use? Uh. hmm. Again, I have all these fear cards in my deck, but they keep coming up all at once. So again, exile cards are absolutely no use to me.
Hmm.
Okay, so I think I'm just going to take my chances
Yeah,
here.
I don't really know what you're talking about these fear cards. I haven't seen a single one.
What fear cards?
Yeah.
Um, See this big snake and laugh at it. So I need a plane. So pay travel plane. There we go. Okay.
You made it.
There we are. Okay.
You
And
made it.
big ant again. Exile cards. It's just taunting me now. Okay. I'll enter.
Okay, so thankfully I have some idols to spare, and I can push them up to take some of those free actions, and there just happens to be one of them, an idol bonus that gives me one coin and one compass, and that's the one I need. So I'm going to press that, and that gives me everything else I needed to overcome this guardian, which is like a snake beast with 4 eyes. And there you go, defeated.
Excellent.
Happy about that.
Unfortunately, mine is going to require 2 shoes. So unless I have a whole bunch of gold, or find a way to draw some more fear cards into my hands, I'm not going to have any way of dealing with that. And we're facing even more fear again. So for now, before I go deciding what to do there, let's see what else we can do. I can now travel up the research track again now that I have some idols to spare. So let's take a look at this.
Oh yeah.
Now what this will do is give me first pick of 2 assistants here. Now unfortunately they will be tapped, so I don't get to use them this round. And I will only get to use them once, really. But I think I'll just take this one.
Yeah, I better remember to hold on to a idol for that. If I can get there.
You've got 1 idol left, yes.
I do have 1 idol left, and I do want to keep climbing, but I would have to spend my idol to get the arrowhead, which I don't have the appetite for doing right now.
You do have a worker left, and there is this handy little base
Oh yeah,
camp
I do
location
have a
here.
worker left. See, there you go.
It's
See,
just another thing. It's so easy to
I've
forget some of the
totally
basic
forgotten.
mechanics when you're trying to balance several mini games at once.
Yeah, ridiculous. Okay, yeah, I can get that arrowhead, or I can get a resource boost. No, there isn't one of them handy. I sort of wanted to get that fear again so that I could kill it, but here's my dad joke coming. That would be overkill. All right, there we go. Go and get that arrow.
Okay. Now, since I have yet another idle here, I could even move my book up to this location, which would let me have a free. I believe it's free. A free artifact. I could take one of these artifacts for free, which is a pretty good deal.
Mm.
So, in fact, I am going to do that. So, we're going to do this. And I'm going to grab this one, which gives me 2 compasses. Use as... Okay, sorry. Use as main action, which should give me 2 compasses. There we are. Okay. And then pass.
Okay, I dearly wish I had another card in my deck because the bonus for moving up is drawing a card, but I'll deal. So I don't gain that bonus, so I move up with the magnifying glass.
Excellent. Okay, well now that I've got that, I've got some tablets, I can actually keep researching again, which lets me upgrade my second assistant, and I can actually use it this round, which means it lets me basically take another card, not for free, but at least for a hefty discount. So either 2 less coins or 2 less compasses. But I will
that's pretty nice.
figure that out next turn.
Okay, now I reserved that extra idle, so I can move up that idle track, no problem, and I can choose the the one remaining assistant.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to buy this card here. Oh, sorry, first I have to activate my assistant. And I buy this card here, which lets me draw 2 cards on the bottom of my deck and keep 1. So, draw 2 cards. And as I suspected, there's a fear. In fact, I'm going to actually hold on to the fear card. Although I don't think I really have there's no exile card effect here, really, is there? Unless I kill the Guardian. So yes, I'm gonna get rid of this. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry, undo. Oh, sorry. Collect the card that I want to keep, not the one I want to discard. So I want to keep the fear card in case I have the chance to discard it. So then I will end turn.
Okay. Yeah, these turns really do drag out. Like I was saying before, even after you use your workers, there's twists and turns you can do with researches and the bonuses and the assistants.
So adding those the idols and the assistants and everything, it drags on a little more.
Yeah, all these chain combos. Okay, so let's keep plowing ahead. I'm going to research up since I have the right materials for that. I'm going to reset
up there. Okay.
that guy and upgraded him to gold.
I wasn't expecting you to catch up so quickly.
Well, should have kept your eyes on your heels, Dr. Jones.
Fortunately, that requires far too many tablets than either of us have. And he requires a couple of tablets. Okay. Sorry, a couple of arrowheads. Now, I can get 1 from here. There's still no arrowheads to find in these main locations here. Now, the other thing I could do is... Oh, no, I can't kill the ant because I now have no compasses.
Do you have cards in your hand?
I do have the cards now. Because I can use this boat as a boot. But again, that seems like too good a card to really waste as a boot. I might just have to eat the fear. Which means what I could do then is... Oh, that's handy. There's 2 compasses right there that I could grab.
There you go. 2 tablets.
And
right?
you just don't have... I just noticed what, of course, the next... what the reward is for grabbing this location is another fear card. So I'm really just going to have to live with that, unfortunately. I think the game is trying to tell me something.
Nice. that you'll constantly live in fear. I'm going to use my assistant, my gold one, and that's a free action. Don't know if there's much else I can do with that, though. I can't upgrade my magnifying glass or my book. I'm just missing out on stuff. I don't want to kill any cards. I would desperately like to buy a card, but I can't afford it. So I think I'm going to have to call it quits at this point. Pass for the round.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sure there's something to be said about having no fear at all is really isn't the goal here. It's having fear and then overcoming it. So I think I'm really going to be the more well-rounded of us here. And that's my excuse, at least when I do. Oh wait, not enough
Right.
compasses. Ah.
See, I
Man,
permanently
okay.
overcame my fear.
Yeah, I've got all the tablets I need, but still no compasses. Okay, well that's just peachy. Okay, all I can do then is let's just trade this in for a gem's going to be useful to me at this point. Not really. I think arrowheads are almost going to be more useful, especially for moving this book up. So I'm going to actually take it like an arrowhead. And then I think I don't have any other options. I've played all my cards. I've played all my workers, used all my assistants. And I've spent all my resources. So that is going to be it. Okay, final rounds.
Yeah.
So I don't know that either of us are going to make it to the top of the temple at this rate.
I don't think we will. It'll be a tough road. That's for sure.
I'll blame the distraction of streaming on that. Okay, so still have no compasses, huh? Okay, well in that case, I could come up here and get some compasses, especially now that I have some. I have the fear cards that I can use to deal with that ant. So, but I also need a foot. I need a boot just to go to that location in the first place. Unfortunately,
Right.
so that's really balance. It's a really tough balance here. Like the two cards I spend to go to that location, I could just as easily spend to go somewhere else and get those resources. So figuring out if that's a good trade or not is quite tricky. Relocate a worker to a base camp. But regardless
the
of
base
where you
camp,
go, you're gonna have
it's
to
definitely
spend
the cheapest.
cards. Yeah, but you have to spend cards regardless of where you go. So it's either spend two cards at two different locations or one card at one location, I guess. So, all right, we'll just have to live with this. Let's pay that and that.
You went for it.
And in turn.
Okay. Wow. What does that mean for me? I mean, I can get a few compasses, but don't know if it's worth it. Maybe
This
I
stage
want
of
to
the game,
defeat.
you really want something more predictable than exploring, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to get as many point sources as I can. Okay, so what's the best use of compasses here? Get a couple more. And I might even go to 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah. I'm just having the meme moment where the numbers are floating out of my head. They're floating.
Yeah, that's with the multi-use cards. It's really hard to calculate what your best option is here.
Yeah,
And,
well,
and
I'm
to some
looking.
degree, I enjoy that there's an improvisation required. You really can't map everything out, but It often leads to some pretty unsatisfactory sort of just roll with it and see what happens.
Yeah, it's trade-offs, right? It's always trade-offs. Okay, so to not drag this out any longer, I am going to say that, and then yeah, here goes. I'm going to go to that spot. I'm going to spend a coin to do it. All right, went there.
Okay.
Grabbed a fear because I'm going to easily be able to kill it.
Well, since we're dealing with as the first person here gets to draw a card, and this might be the last card I get to draw this game, I think I'm going to nab that before you have the chance to. So let's do that. And it's not a fear card, so that's something.
Oh, you think I want to draw cards?
Do you even have any cards? No, you don't have any cards left to draw.
That's far from what I want. Okay. But because we did that, I can snag a different action, different resource. I'm going to use the lantern to get tablets.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's quite a few juicy artifacts up here, and I have a handy dandy discount. The question is, which one's going to... Oh, this is even a more powerful version of the previous one I had. Draw 3 cards and keep 1. And that... I would hope that at least one of those wouldn't be a fear card. I may still have 3 in my deck.
Wow. You still have 7 cards.
Although this actually... That's actually a good bet. I can... That's a handy burner card right there. I mean, I'm obviously drawing these isn't going to be a concern going on, but they are all negative points at the end of the game. So... Is that the best way of going about this, though? Gold isn't particularly useful because artifacts are useless now. So, I've got this to activate any location. So I've still got plenty of ways of getting tablets. Question is, what I need is just an arrowhead. Oh, I've got this arrowhead here. Okay, let's do this. I'll do that. I'm gonna move my book up. Evaluate. I must evaluate research bonuses. Oh, I untapped that one. Okay. Which means I can do it again, but not right now.
Okay. So I'm going to use my gold assistant because why not? Gain a tablet and a coin. And then now is the real question of which tier 1 expedition to go on. I guess it really just depends on what I want to get from it. And most of them are compasses, as you can see. Although there is the one resetting of a guy. That could be nice. Get some...
So yeah, that would let you untap the system that you just used and use them
again. Untap my gold guy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why don't I do that? All right, what am I going to get? You may refresh an assistant. Yes, ma'am. Ah, look at that. I fell right into my plan.
Do you have you have 1 card left? I hope it's a boat.
I can figure it out.
Okay, so I'm getting pretty close to the top of the temple here, but can I bring it home? I need a tablet and an arrowhead. Okay. Well, I think my best bet... There's various reasons to need tablets right now, so I think I'm just going to use this to activate that location. Get some more tablets.
See, I like how it's feeling a bit tight because I have the lead on a couple of monsters from you, but you are edging up the research track from me. So it's going to be a bit of a race.
And having the book, like on the Snake Temple side, having the book up high is worth quite a few. Like it's actually worth more points than the Hourglass, which is on the simple side, the Bird Temple.
Yeah.
Having the book up high doesn't really net you much points. It's very rarely worthwhile to push the book up. But on this side, the book is worth a lot of points. So if you can push that up, that can be
Yeah,
quite juicy.
or as much as the hourglass, I guess, up to that second to last tier. Anyway, I'm going to take my turn and I'm going to move my magnifying glass up.
So you have the opportunity to potentially beat me to that. So I think I better shoot my shot now. If we trade this in for another arrowhead, I can jump up here. Not enough coin. Okay, well I better take that coin there. Then I can move up. Now, do I take the chance on drawing a card? Let's have a double remind myself
the sure thing.
Exactly how many fear cards I have in this deck. I have 6, and I've currently drawn 4 of them. So, a 2 in 7 chance of just drawing more fear. But I think those are decent odds.
It's the prisoner's dilemma right here.
Of course, just by doing this, I'm getting yet another fear card from moving my compass up. My hourglass, I mean. Oh, there. Okay, there we go. It's a fear card.
Get the tablet. Let's get the tablet. I told you to get the tablet. There you go.
Always take the tablet when you have the chance.
Okay, well, I guess I can get the tablet now. Let me see if I'm doing this right, though. So if I do that, I will have enough money to do the other thing. Yes. Go. Woohoo.
Okay, well now it's really going to be a race to that final stage. But we are both missing an arrowhead. So neither of us can race quite there just yet. So as a reminder, the first person to get to this top track here gets 23 points. And first pick of these bonuses here. The next person just gets 21 points. So it's not a huge benefit, but then they also get second choice in the freebie there. So it's a slight benefit, but it might be something that breaks the tie in this game. Okay, so I need to find myself an arrowhead. I have very little left in my hand. I do have still is a cheap artifact. Now, I'm not going to make that choice yet. I'm going to push my book up because that's worth 4 points. I get a tablet and I draw a card. Okay.
All right. So now I really have to pick and choose. I have a spare idol that I haven't used, and I have an open slot, and I need to gain an arrow either way. So first of all, I'm going to do that. Now the question is, what do I spend that on? I can spend it to land on the final tier, or I can spend it to beat the monster below. And if I check the difference, it's a bigger point gap, I think. It's an 8-point gain to
going from 15 points to 23 points. That's a pretty big jump.
That's a pretty big jump, whereas defeat the monster and I get 5 points. So I think 8's higher than 5 last I checked.
Mind you, not defeating the monster gets you a fear, which is -1 point. So that's one step closer.
yeah, okay. Well, I think it's still better, and I might just get an arrowhead.
Okay. Yeah, you do also get a freebie from that.
I'm picking right now, and it's not an arrow, sadly. But I get to kill a fear.
Okay. Now, I still have a worker, which again, so easy to forget about that. Just lazing about the camp. There's not a lot left to do with him, though. I could go up here, get some more tablets, but tablets aren't super useful now. Especially when I don't have all my artifacts that I could have spent them on are still hiding in my deck. So, draw 3 cards and pick one. That could be useful. Or upgrade something. Okay. I think I'm just going to take my chance with drawing 3 cards. So I spend so I buy get a tablet. Sorry, compass. Get a compass. Then I can buy the earrings. Look at 3 cards. Okay. And one of them is the other earring, so I've got a matching set now. In fact, if I do that, I could... Neither are going to make a big difference, I don't think. Oh, hang on. I must keep one of the drawn cards. Yes, I want to keep that card. And I may return a card to the top of the deck. I'll put that back on the top of the deck. There we go. Okay. And that'll pass.
Okay. Well, my options are limiting here. I don't have enough resources to take it any further. So as you can see, there's the pyramid of additional just points that you can gain near the top. And it's an interesting system where you combine them and you can get the small bricks, the medium bricks, or the highest one. But I don't think I'm going to be able to pull that off. So I'm going to kill off one of my fears, which removes the negative points.
Mm-hmm.
And I really have 2 tablets and 2 coins to spend before I wrap it up here. And I don't think I am going to climb up the research track in either case. Sadly.
One more
So
compass and you could have made a slight dent there.
Oh, yeah. One more compass, I could have done a lot. But that said, I'm just going to buy a card with my 2 coin. And at least that'll be 1 point.
Okay. I'm going to take another chance at finding something on the bottom of my deck. So I'm going to spend my tablet on the other earring. Really cycling through the whole deck here. Okay, so I'd have the chance to get 2 tablets, but only if I have another tablet and I just spent my last one. So that's not going to happen. But it is a plain symbol, and plain symbols are useful because they still have a worker, so I think I'm going to keep that card.
Oh, you did take the sundial.
I don't even remember what I have in my deck. It's let's pass.
I think I'm out. I mean, what do I have to do, really? I just got 2 tablets. I got nothing to do with 2 tablets. Can't defeat the monster. Oh, I got nothing. I'm passing.
Okay.
It's all you.
Well, I still have a worker, and what I really need to do is get to the top of the temple, and all I need for that is an arrowhead. Now, only place to get an arrowhead on this island is back at base camp here.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna have to take a very boring turn. Although, what if I get tablets? There's always tablets. Because I can turn one tablet into many tablets. But again, that's not really going to do much for me. Unless I have an arrowhead.
Can you reset your assistance in any way?
Only if I'd bought this card instead. The Sacred Drum.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play it safe. Oops. I have to click on this first. Get my arrowhead. Then I need the compass. And then I can go here. And what have we got? We've got... Wait. Oh, I think it just automatically gave me... There was only one tile left there, which was a compass. And it just automatically gave it to me. Okay, so with that... Oh, if I had one more tablet, and I could have grabbed that first temple there. Unfortunately, I think I might be tapped out. could pass to get a crystal, but end of the game, crystals are not worth anything.
Well, you can buy
Uh,
that one tier in the middle, right?
but I don't.
So
But I'd have to pass to get the crystal, and then I could.
that's passing for the whole round.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's painful.
So I think I'm gonna have to cap it there as well.
It's all right. No shame in that. We both made it to the top.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's pass and see how this tallies up. Will my fear prove... Oops.
I think your fear is going to consume you from the inside.
Yeah. Or will it prove valuable? Like, considering all the giant creatures here, it's certainly valid to have some healthy fear.
I like this dramatic count up. Which category?
Good lead on me in Guardians there. But oh, there you go. Fear was the end of me.
Fear, the mind killer.
Let's go back. Sorry, let me jump back to the final situation there. So yeah, I slightly edged you out with my book being ahead, but it wasn't quite enough, unfortunately. Even on the runes, I thought I would have had more advantage with the cards because I was buying a lot more than you, but that doesn't really because only it's not one of those games where you're building a really fat deck. It's just one or two cards here or there, so that doesn't really add up to a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's really the fear. It's I mean, 5 points is a lot in this game.
Yeah, that's the most fear I've had. I usually try and keep it pretty lean. Okay, well, good game.
Yeah, good game. A rematch since I think you definitely won the last time we played.
It's been a while since I played this one actually. We played quite a bit of it when we recorded our episode actually a couple of months ago, but it's been a while since I've played now. So good to finally have that rematch.
Yeah, well, I can see just the corner of the Arnak ad for the expansion. So
Yes.
That's got to be exciting for those with the physical.
Yeah, I'm quite interested to see that because I believe it adds it adds research leaders, sorry, expedition leaders, which I imagine is some degree of asymmetrical player abilities. At least that's a complete assumption, but that's what I'm assuming they're working with there, and also just adding new research tracks. So again, with the base game, you have the bird temple and the snake temple, which actually shakes things up quite a bit. This snake temple side really makes things more dynamic with the balance between the compass and the book, and you have to have the idols to advance to this stage, which is quite tricky. And so if they're adding a couple of more of those, that really does shake up the gameplay quite a bit. I'd be interested to see what they do with it.
The basic assistants definitely come into play a lot earlier in the bird side.
Yes, yeah.
And as a result, I think there's a nice variety of gameplay you get as a result of that. That's sort of like the character personalization that you get in the base game, whereas you're pretty much the same as anyone else, with your same starting hand and your same no character abilities. So yeah, new expedition leaders. That sounds great.
Mm-hmm. I think they've got a couple of expansions planned. So yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with it. It's like I said, I have mixed feelings as discussed in the podcast on how well it works. It's can be quite a bit of luck and improvisation required in this game, and hard to balance everything out. Though again, we've not really played in person, and while some of the upkeep is done quite nicely here, seeing those physical components can really help with keeping certain elements in mind. Like, it's much easier to see those workers on your physical board in front of you rather than them sort of blending in with the screen on your player board here. So I'm reluctant to sort of downplay the game too much without having experienced the physical game very much just yet.
Yeah, I think the game's a winner. I enjoy playing it It's not the deepest brain burn, but it's interesting enough for me to keep playing it, week after week
Hmm.
on Board Game Arena, and I'm definitely eager to try it out in person. You were saying those tiles look really nice, and the resources look quite attractive as well. So,
Yeah, the tablets like carved, like they're all plastic obviously, but they're carved, and the arrowheads actually have a really nice clink to them. They have like a metallic sheen, and they sort of
mm,
clink when you rattle them together, which is quite a nice touch.
that's very cool. Awesome. Well, we got a game done pretty quick, just over an hour, right?
Yes, yeah. So it certainly flows quite smoothly, especially in on Board Game Arena when all the upkeep is being handled for you. You can see it. That's definitely one of the benefits of this game. It does, because it's only 5 rounds. It does move along at a pretty snappy clip there.
Right. That was fun.
Hmm. So
Awesome. So, are we gonna fill people in on the next episode? I think
yes,
maybe
well
you've shared some info.
I did already announce that on Twitter for anyone who wanted to get a head start. And of course, if you've listened to the first podcast, you'd have a head start. But for those who are still working through their podcast backlog, uh, next episode, we're of course moving to our first video game in the club. So we are looking at Dragon Quest Builders 2.
And
Uh,
Game Pass, of course.
Yes, of course. So I mean, it is available on most platforms. I know it's on like Switch, for example. I know is a popular platform for many. And there is a demo that's apparently quite chunky. It's like I think it's the entire first sort of biome of the game, which is like a good chunk of hours, and it will run you through all of the basics. So that'll give you more than enough to know if you like it, basically. So if you want to get a feel for the game before that episode drops, so that'll be dropping next week. I think we'll be dropping the podcast on Mondays. So not tomorrow, but next Monday we'll drop that episode. And
Tuesdays, I think.
Tuesday, okay. I mean, I'm not sure how long it takes for the podcast feeds to update anyway, but look for it early next week. And if you want to get a head start and try the game before you listen along, you can find that now. So it's on Game Pass, or you can get the free demo. Maybe in the future, I'll keep a better eye out for like deals and sales on any games that we're covering, in case anyone else is interested.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, Board Game Arena is a great platform for following along. I think most of the games we're playing are on there,
Yes. Yeah.
or Tabletop Simulator or Tabletopia. And Game Pass is fantastic. Sign up for that. You can play a surprising amount of stuff, even just through your browser, through Game Pass
Yes,
Ultimate.
cloud, like cloud browsing or something. I've not tried that myself, but you can like play things on your phone or on your desktop browser. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, not for everything, not for the PC type
mm,
games, but I have this like old clunker all-in-one PC in front of my exercise bike. I have a wired Ethernet cable straight into it, and I've been playing, Xbox Series X game resolution games
wow.
on there while I'm on the exercise bike, and it's awesome. So recommended.
Excellent. Yeah. So yeah, that episode will drop next week, and then the week after that, we will, I guess, try and find some way of streaming that. We'll discuss this, but I know there is a co-op mode that we could perhaps check out, or just visit each other's islands and see what we've been building. Or I may stream something in the meantime as well, just as a bit of a test run, and see how that goes.
Very cool. Well, thanks for setting this up, Daniel. That was fun to play Arnak with you.
Yep, and thanks for everyone who's been watching along. We'll be uploading this to YouTube in the coming days for anyone who may have missed part of that.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
Okay. Thanks for joining, everyone. Have a good week.
Yeah, have a
Thanks,
good one.
Mark. Bye.
See you soon. Bye.